everybody will think it's rehearsed. It's just going to be a cold opening, Jason.
Because we're so good at cold openings that everyone thinks it's rehearsed all the time. We get your mail. About it. No, this is raw and uncut.
Yes, raw and uncut. Hello and welcome to a special edition of the Red, White, and Blues podcast, where we dive into everything Chelsea football related, including the things that we think are bullshit, which is exactly what this episode is going to be. I'm Daniel, and he is Jason. How are you doing, sir?
I'm good, man. I'm ready to talk about some bullshit. How are you?
Right. It's going to be a giant bullshit episode. But I mean, now I'm gonna preface this by saying, I guess we are recording this on Thursday, November the 20th of the year of our Lord 2025. So I will say this, I guess, the preface before we jump off into the bullshit. Chelsea, I guess tentatively it has been announced that we have a front of shirt sponsor for the first time in God knows when, 18 months, I think. We're not counting the Club World Cup. That was just some bullshit deal. We're not counting that.
Yeah.
But we have it leaked earlier this week. We didn't have an episode on Monday because it's the international break. So we did do a movie review though. So if you want to check that out, go check that out. It is up on our YouTube page and podcast, wherever you listen to those at. But it was announced that Oracle would be the front of the shirt sponsor going forward for the rest of the year. I don't know if it's it hasn't been backtracked, but it has been, I don't know. It still seems to be up in the air.
Yeah.
I don't know. Nothing has officially been announced by the club. So who knows what is really happening behind the scenes? Did Chelsea screw the deal up? Completely possible. Completely possible they screwed the deal up.
Is Matt Law the only one that has been reporting this?
I mean, if
Matt Law special,
he is the propaganda arm of Chelsea. So you have to take that one of two ways. Is he being legit in his reporting and saying that, hey, Chelsea has a front of the shirt sponsor and good news, or is he simply putting that out there as a cover to try and smooth things over and, appease the fan base because we're almost a third of the way through the season and still have no front of shirt sponsor. And then they'll be like, oh, well, the deal fell through. Oracle backed out or some shit like that and try to make Chelsea look better in the deal. But make them look like they're actually trying to do their jobs.
But Daniel, I thought they were just waiting for us to get into the Champions League. This has been some masterful work by the club. I am so impressed. I'm impressed by all of this, and I'm especially impressed by Matt Law's reporting.
Yeah, I mean, what have we fired? The CFO twice now since I think Clear Lake has taken over. So it's we're on a third CFO and still don't have a front of shirt sponsor deal.
Well, they need to stop giving it to their friend. No, I'm just kidding. I don't know. I'm just bullshitting. I don't know if that's bullshit. So, I wouldn't be surprised, but I do not know that for sure. So everybody, I do not.
Allegedly, Jason. Say allegedly.
Allegedly.
But a lot of the stuff we're going to say in this podcast today is not alleged. It can be proven by a simple Google search, or just visit a Wikipedia page for Oracle. It's all there. But we're going to dive a little bit into Oracle today and why I think and Jason thinks this is a shitty company. And to be fair, let's preface this, Jason. We are a little biased in this situation because we both shared a hatred for Larry Ellison before this deal was ever struck. We had private conversations about how much we despise this man. So, to be fair, we are slightly biased, but I do think the facts speak for themselves.
Yeah. No fan of the Ellisons. Any of the Ellisons. If Daniel and I don't show up for the pod on Monday, you know what happened.
We did not want to die. Just put it that way. I'm supposed to say at this point.
All we're saying is we're not a fan. You have enough money to not care.
Yeah. So if you've been living under a rock or you don't follow Matt Law on Twitter, and Chelsea has announced a sponsorship deal supposedly with Oracle. So if this doesn't happen, I guess this podcast is sort of relevant. But if this doesn't happen, I will say that this podcast is the reason that the sponsorship with Oracle fell through.
Exactly. That's
what I'm going with. So, but basically, I don't know. I do we just want to start? I don't know where to start with it. I guess we can start with like what Oracle is for those people who don't know, and then we can get a little bit into their sketchy history a little bit, and then we can dive a little bit into the douchebag Larry Ellison. I guess, and then we'll talk about how this, because I think the deal is also, I have a problem with the way that the deal is structured in some ways, if it's being reported correctly. So, I mean, basically, Oracle is just, for a lack of a better words, they are a database software cloud computing company. They've been around for years. They've gone head to head with IBM. They're competitors now, big competitors with Amazon for the cloud-based storage. They work hand in hand with Microsoft now. So they're sort of in bed with old Bill over there, old William, who likes to buy up farmland from farmers in America. He's an asshole too. There's nothing like crazy about this company. It's just like, it's just another Silicon Valley company. Cool, whatever. Okay, I don't know. You have anything you want to add about Oracle, Jason? I know they sponsor Red Bull. Or they're part of the Red Bull racing team, I believe, in F1.
Yeah.
So
they basically create like customized software databases for things. They can create like websites for people too. Like it's just, they're just big. A lot of cloud computing, like you said. Yeah. So they got their hands on a lot of shit. And AI now too. Yeah,
big AI people. Yeah. That's a whole. Yeah, we can dive off into AI stuff in a little bit. But yeah, they're just they are, I believe, the 66th biggest company according to Forbes. I believe is 66th biggest company. 20th, one of the 20 largest market caps in the world. So this isn't some small company. They're one of the biggest software companies out there.
Yeah.
But I mean, they have not exactly had the cleanest of records, I guess, if you will. They have been caught up in several controversies. Been sued by many of people in all of this. And like I tweeted about this the other night, and somebody's like, "Get off your high horse." I'm like, okay, it's not a high horse when it's like facts, and every company has its sketchy past, but I have a problem when the company has a sketchy past, and then along with the founder of the company. I mean, just to name a few things that they've done with Oracle, they've been sued by the freaking Justice Department of the United States of America. They have been they had to settle. Probably the biggest thing is they sold people's data, which is illegal, and they had to pay. They had a class action lawsuit filed against them. Had to pay out for that. They've breached many of international laws. They have violated the Foreign Corruption Act on numerous occasions, not just once, not twice, but 3 times that we know of. So this is not just like American fraud. They've bribed foreign internationals. This isn't just like little things. Like this is a worldwide scale of corruption that Oracle is. I mean, this is the thing. Is always say like, okay, companies, every company does this, but it's like, what don't we know about is more so in all of this. Like what haven't they been caught for? What have they done other things that are shady in all of this? So
they just do not seem like a trustworthy company.
Yeah.
And I think some of the lawsuits, Yeah, I mean, selling people's info without their consent.
Yeah.
There's like wage disparity stuff that they're going through right now. I know they got some stuff with Google. They got some stuff with SAP. Like, so I know that they got a lot of ongoing stuff.
Yeah.
Because they're not on the up and up all the time. But it's like you said, that's just the stuff we know about.
Right. This is just, and like, I mean, like, I'm sure if we get a friend of the shirt sponsor from freaking Saudi Arabia or wherever, I'm sure we can go through all their human rights violations.
Yeah.
That company's probably done. And we'll do an episode on that too. But I mean, and I think that brings you, it's like, so Oracle is this huge giant company. It's founded by a guy named Larry Ellison. And if you've ever seen a picture of Larry Ellison, I've never seen a guy that has had more plastic surgery than Madonna. The dude is 81 years old, which I did not know because he's had so much freaking plastic surgery. Like, the dude's face is tighter than, I don't know, something. Just use your imagination for what it's tighter than.
I just did a quick Google. Apparently, there is no confirmed surgery other than like a broken nose.
Allegedly, then I guess I'll say that. Allegedly, he's had plastic surgery.
He has credited his look to a healthy lifestyle, including a vegetarian diet, regular exercise, and genetics. So is what the official from his mouth.
Okay.
That's the official statement. His very plastic surgery mouth. It's what he's
allegedly, Jason. His
allegedly. I mean, but according to him, he's had none.
Okay, and I mean, I'm sure Madonna said she's had none too. So there's that. If you haven't seen a picture of Madonna lately, I encourage y'all to Google that because it is one of the craziest transformations I've ever seen. Larry Ellison just looks like a douchebag. Like I just imagined he's a douchebag. So, whatever. But this dude, I don't even know. Like, and that's the thing. Like, this is where it gets sketchy because, like, we don't like to get political in here unless it's to say F Putin. That's the only political stance we've ever taken on this podcast. Yes. And I don't like. So I don't want this. But there's just no way around it not coming off somewhat political. But if I told you who was the single biggest private donor to the FIDF, which if you don't know what the FIDF is, it is I'm looking for my notes. It is a nonprofit organization. It is called the Friends of the Israeli Defense Fund. Our forces. It is a nonprofit that essentially subsidizes the Israeli military. So if I told you some guy donated $26 million to these people and was the largest single private donor to the Friends of the Israeli Defense Forces, that would be Larry Ellison. That would be this guy directly funding the Israeli forces in Israel. So whether you believe that or like however you take the Israeli-Palestinian dispute, there's many different angles you can take on it. Whatever, however you believe it, this guy's literally funding one of the militaries privately, so to speak. So take with that information we want. I don't want any of that shit even coming close to touching my club because then it splits your fan base. Because then it causes division within your fan base. And I think football should be the thing that unites us, not divides us. So, and I don't want shit like that in my club. So, I don't know.
Well, it's funny how like when Samsung decided to stop being a sponsor for us, like it was for that reason. It was because they wanted to sell cell phones to everyone and they didn't want like to only single out a certain club.
Right.
So like it's similar in the way it's like at least we're talking about the specifics of our fan base. Right. But like, when, and this speaks to the bigger issue ultimately of when we are owned by this type of company, what types of partnerships is this company like and what type of practices are they in?
Yeah.
And
who are they in bed with?
Yeah, exactly. And how are they running things? And like, I think we're seeing that they don't seem very competent, and they're willing to just, take money from anybody. But that's what happens when you're owned by they're not private equity, but they're more like, it feels similar in a way of like how they go about just mining this company or mining this club for resources,
right?
And who they're willing to let into the mine.
Yeah, pretty much anybody. It's pretty much an open door policy. Like they don't care as long as you have money, which means in the end, then you have no morals. So it's like, I feel like you sort of need morals in the world at some point, Tom.
I know, and I know that we're talking about this like in the context of Abramovich sports washing his money in the club.
Yeah,
like, so I mean, like there is no way around it. But at the same time, it's like, do we have to keep doing these things in this way? And it does worry me, some of the trends that we've seen, and it makes sense based on those trends why they would be okay with a company like Oracle.
Yeah, for sure. And it is. And it's, I don't know. It's just very concerning, I guess, is the right word to use in that context. Like you just said, like it is concerning and it's worrisome. And it's like, I don't want our club associated with shit like this, but inevitably will be. And, I don't know. It just, I don't know. It just sucks to see your club have to be attached to stuff like that. And unfortunately, we are like that. And we seem to, even though we have new owners, we can't escape that. And we can't escape being attached to shitty situations and around the world politics. And, you can get into Abramovich's sketchy past, whatever. But the one thing, the difference for me is like, Abramovich actually loved the club, though. And he cared about the club and wanted to see the success of the club. And he cared about the fans. Yeah. So in the end, he had some sketchy political things. And we acknowledge he sports washed his money through our club. Yeah. But I'd rather have somebody sports washing their money through our club or have a club associated with somebody that is the largest donor to the IDF.
Yeah, exactly.
I'll take the sports washing any day over that.
Yeah. You're talking about, relative. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Relatively.
Talk about the structure of this deal, though, because you were telling me a little bit more about that, and I think that's a good segue into that.
Yeah. So basically, from what was reported, and let me find. I'm going to butcher this dude's name, so I'm just going to go ahead and say it. Lukas Bogzek. I don't know. Basic. I can't pronounce his name. He's the one he's one of the ones that's reported on this deal as well, and the structure of it. So essentially, the structure is that Clear Lake is going to invest in Oracle, and Oracle is going to gain sponsorships, assets, and access to the portfolio of Clear Lake Capital. Whatever the hell that means, I don't know. I honestly don't know. And in return, Oracle is going to pay for the sponsorship of Chelsea. So basically, what this is Clear Lake is giving, just for breaking it down with simple terms, with simple dollar amounts, Clear Lake is giving Oracle $100. And Oracle is essentially saying, thanks, cool, here's $50 back, and so we can put our name on the front of your jersey and now give us access to all the information that you have, all the data that you have. I'm assuming it's probably what they want because they're a data company. Essentially, we're paying for our own sponsorship. Right. Like, is what we're doing. Like, exactly. We don't know dollar amounts because we'll never know how much Clear Lake invested in Oracle. Like, right. We'll never know that. I mean, I would guess maybe Oracle will release it at the end of their fiscal year next year. They'll have to report that, I'm assuming. But then we'll be able to go and compare notes and see how much Clear Lake put into Oracle and then how much Oracle then paid us for the sponsorship. So all of that, I guess, will eventually become public information. But as of now, the face value of this deal is we're giving Oracle money, and then Oracle's giving us money back to sponsor them. But we're just doing it through Clear Lake.
So different kind of sports watching, I guess.
Yeah, it's a way. This is essentially the same thing City did by having, injecting money into their club through sponsorships without their owners actually being the sponsors of the club, because that's illegal. So Clear Lake is essentially just circumventing the rules and injecting money into the club through Oracle is what they're doing. It's the same thing they did with Infinite Athlete, a company owned by Todd Boehly. It was this, except we just don't know. Like, I guess in that situation, Todd Boehly didn't give the money to Infinite, but we don't know that. Because Infinite Athlete, I'm pretty sure, is a private company. So we don't know if Boehly injected money in there and then they just turned around and gave that money right back to the club. So it's just a shady deal, but it's to be expected from Clear Lake at this point in time. I mean, shady deals, Clear Lake go hand in hand together at this point in time.
Yeah, and not to mention, the way they're going about this is shady as shit. The millions and millions of potential sponsorship dollars that we have lost only for them to then just turn around and make a deal like this is just the icing on the cake, I guess. And I don't expect much of this club at this point. I don't expect much of the ownership. I think we'll always expect much of the club, I guess, but just because we have high expectations and we're used to being the more successful club in London in recent times. Yeah. But
nice little jab at Arsenal and
just little. They deserve to catch some strays every now and then. But but yeah, it just the way they're going about it, the way they're going about the deal, the way they've sat on it for so long, and then only to end up with a deal like this with a company like Oracle, with an owner like Larry Ellison. It just reeks. It just is so pathetically gross.
Yeah.
And
it is.
It's disappointing, and I think that's why we're doing this video. It's just because we're just it's not a high horse. It's just, we have a platform that we have made for three people outside of us, and we want to express our opinion about it. And we're not happy about it, I would say.
Yeah, and I think that's a good way to put it. Is it's more of this disappointment aspect of it, that we're disappointed in the club. Why do you want to be associated? Why do you have to do things so shady? And then I think just the way they run the club is just shitty to begin with. And the fact that, like you said, it's been 18 months, we can't get a front of shirt sponsor. All we're told is wait for the Champions League. They're waiting for the Champions League, and we're in the Champions League and we still don't have a damn sponsor. Yeah. So
it was already such a bullshit excuse because we were never guaranteed Champions League,
right?
In any aspect, even up until the last. If everything had gone right, we still wouldn't have made Champions League.
Yeah,
I mean, everything went right, but if everything had gone wrong, I mean,
right,
we wouldn't have made it. So it's just stupid. That whole narrative is so dumb, only for them to still sit on it after the success, after being world champions, after Conference League, after ending last season the way you did.
Yeah.
Why would you not capitalize on it? It makes me wonder what they've been trying to do this entire time. What is their ultimate goal here? Because it's not just to get a sponsor and get money out of a deal. There's something beyond this, I think. My conspiratorial brain goes,
that's interesting.
Why are they sitting on this after saying, and that was their line too. It wasn't just fans that are dogmatically linked to the club and always trusting the club. But it is, or the ownership. I mean, I'm trying to separate the ownership from the club now, because after this whole deal,
you sort of have to.
In my mind, they're not inextricably linked like we normally do. Yeah. But I don't. What it is baffling in to have lost as much money as they have not having a sponsor.
Yeah.
Because let's not forget the DeMac sponsorship was a direct tie to some real estate investments they were making in the Middle East.
Yeah, the hotel with the Chelsea rooms in it.
Yes, exactly. Like these Chelsea-themed hotel rooms.
Yep.
And so did we even make money off of that deal, or was it just part of
it's probably more
they're
of a
using
promotion.
the Chelsea brand to then create a different product that somehow then we are advertising.
It's probably like
they probably
have like a licensing agreement with that hotel chain with DeMac, with that group. And then, like you said, it was more of the front of the shirt sponsor was just more of an advertisement. That's why they didn't release. And it'll be interesting to see if that, because they're going to have to release the figure at the end of the year next year. So it'll be interesting to see how much we actually made from that, because they didn't release the figure, and you figured if it was substantial, they would have wanted people to know. So obviously it wasn't that substantial of an investment.
Yeah. And it's just it's just another way that they're mining the club. They're just mining the brand name of Chelsea to make hotel rooms. It's just stupid. Like
it is.
It's like the $2 billion we've invested in players. Like instead of just building a team that then builds success, that then gets money through the success, they just throw a shit ton of money at it and then have to like sell assets to each other or hope that it's going to come good. But then you and I have talked about this extensively. They're not in the business of winning. They're in the business of being possibly a mid-table team they're a farm club. Like they're trying to turn a profit into a farm club that they then can use the brand of to do other shit. And that's all our club is to this ownership. And I would hope people would want more, but apparently we're just on a high horse for seeing this for what it is and putting, I dare say, our life on the lines right now.
Yeah, our life. Yeah. I mean, it is. It's just, it's so frustrating to see the club run like this and to see it, for lack of better term, hoard out.
Exactly.
Like it's essentially the same thing the Glazers do with United, except they just take the money out and run with it. They haven't done that yet, but I would assume it's probably coming at some point. That the club will be borrowed against and everything, assets. I mean, the only asset we have left is Cobham, because they can't sell the stadium, or else I believe they would have already done that. So just be prepared for that. And
I would say they would probably try to sell sponsorship rights or naming rights to the stadium. Like that would be the next thing, but they can't even get a shirt sponsor. So I don't know how that will work.
That's not going to work. Yeah, they can't. Yeah, they're really good at getting sponsorship deals with clubs or with companies that already have something to do with people in the Chelsea ownership group, like Live Nation, like Bowley's involved with Live Nation. We have Live Nation on our sleeve. So it's like they're really good at that. But if it involves actually getting a real sponsorship, no clue what they're doing.
And I'm just wondering out loud. I don't know. I haven't dug into any of this, so preface. But why are they having to get sponsorships with club or with entities that they already have stuff with? Why? Like, is it?
I think
nobody else wants to work with us. Yeah,
no, I think it's incompetence.
Okay, just only incompetence.
Yeah, I think they're just idiots. Because I mean, like we said at the top, we're on our third CFO already.
That's insane.
But how are you? Like these people, when they came in, were built as businessmen. You know, like they're in the business sector. Like they're, how can you be that business minded and be totally incompetent that you've owned the club for 3 years and you're on your third CFO? Yeah. Like, how can you not pick a CFO? Like, it just doesn't make any sense to me.
We should do a deep dive into the CFO thing. Maybe this is like part of a running series of like behind the curtain type shit.
Okay. I like that. Behind the curtain.
Behind the blue curtain.
Behind the badge.
Oh, I like it.
Behind the badge.
Like it a lot.
Yeah. Behind the badge, episode 1. We'll just go back
right now.
Yeah. Behind the badge, episode 1. We'll just go and cut up our rant from about a month ago in that podcast episode, and that'll be episode 2, because that was an epic rant. But yeah, I think it's interesting that you talk about like, you know, us like how like what is behind this and like why we have in the conspiratorial mind that you have. Because I'm not saying one. I've always just like attributed it to like incompetence. Like they just literally don't know what they're doing, and so they can't get a front of the shirt sponsor. But like it would be interesting to see like what like come up with what the alternative is, because like you've said, like they missed like money coming into the club now for 18 months. So it's not it's to the point now where it's like, okay, you've probably missed, if you go another year, if you go another half a season, you've missed out on $100 million of revenue. So it's like, I don't know. And that goes back to the point that they ended the 3 sponsorship early. Like, let's not forget that. Now, everybody was happy about that because nobody liked the jerseys. But at the end of the year, at the end of the day, they still had one more year left on their contract. So we would have had them for another year. And then we get an athlete. And then that was like, oh, this is just temporary. And then, and then we're 18 months later and still don't have a front shirt sponsor. So is there ulterior motives? Because, oh, well, we don't have this money coming in, so we need to sell off assets then. Yeah. So we need to do this. And like, I don't know.
And then like if we had front of the shirt sponsor, would we have had to sell as much of our assets away?
Right.
Or like were they still trying to do that? But then we still paid fines for UEFA.
Yeah. We're like restricted for like the next couple years in UEFA.
Yeah. We still had like some squad things that we had to comply with.
We have to sell people from the first team from last year's UEFA squad. That's the only way it would have counted. Whatever, some shit.
But like these things don't make sense, and then none of the narratives make sense.
Right.
If you are able to command like a 40 to 50 million pound sponsorship deal a year, and you're able to do a fraction of that for the sleeve, and you are able to like. But like they can't get any of it together, and maybe it is gross incompetence, but like none of the narratives make sense now. Like none of this, we were just waiting for the Champions League, and like that was all. It's already a stupid narrative, and then it still looks even worse now that we're this far into this season. Like you and I had the front of the shirt sponsor pegged way earlier in the season. Like we were like, okay, sure, these idiots can't get it together, but surely with like the footballing prowess that we were commanding after the summer that we displayed and beat the number 1 team in the world with, right? Like our name was huge. And like we still couldn't use that to command something better than a shady ass deal with one of the worst companies in the world. That's insane. That's insane.
And it's just like, is it like gross? And like my thing is like the only thing that makes sense is that they're just overvaluing what a front of the shirt sponsorship deal is.
Maybe so, yeah.
And that it could be something as simple as that. But I think you have because of who owns us, I think you have to look at every aspect of it and every scenario and everything, because we're owned by a bunch of morons, and they do shady shit, which they've already proven. They do stuff that is adverse to the club, like not subsidizing fans to travel to away matches. Like they sold off assets. Like they do stuff that is detrimental to the club and to the fans. Yeah. But it's like, so it's like you have to, like, that's why you said like that conspiracy part of your mind sort of kicks in. It's like, is there ulterior motives to this? Because it's been 18 freaking months. And even take it a step further, I think it's about Reddit. I think I read this on Reddit the other day. Somebody brought up a great point. It was like, I don't want to take credit for this, but they brought up a great point. It's like, why don't we just, since we don't have a front of the shirt sponsor, why don't we just have a charity front of the shirt sponsor?
Yeah.
Like there's like, that's not a new thing in football. Like that's like freaking Barcelona had a front of the shirt sponsor that was a charity for years. And it's like, why don't we do that? We could at least be doing something good with the front of our shirt, you know, like advertising. I don't know what charity you want to advertise. I don't care as long as it's a good charity. At least do that and give back. But we can't even freaking do that.
I mean, it's a very good point. Yeah. I mean, again, speaks to the character of who owns the club. I have a proposal though that would solve all of our problems.
What's that?
At the C level, right? Like, let's just say they could hire a CFO with this credential that I'm about to put out. But at the C level, Daniel, I don't think we've hired enough rugby coaches. We need some guys from rugby to come in, and we need them to shake up this culture.
We do,
and I don't think we've done nearly enough in that. Like they've tested it out; it's clearly worked out amazingly for us.
It's the only reason we won the Club World Cup this summer
at the player level. Exactly. Like let's go beyond player manager. Let's go straight to C level. Let's just put them in there.
Yeah. Hey, look, let's go hire some rugby guy. Or woman, whoever. I don't care.
Yeah, we don't discriminate like Oracle does, and their gender pay gap.
Oh man, yeah, I can care less. Just hire somebody that does their damn job. You've hired two people that can't even do the damn job,
right?
So and I mean, and that's the whole point of this is like, is the CFO just the fall person in this too? Because Eghbali and them are saying no, you have to get this amount of money for this because at the end of the day, they are money grubbing whores. So then they're overvalued. So I mean, like I can see them overvaluing the club because that's all they care about is money. Like they just care about the bottom line. And when they sell Esteval in 3 years for 150 million to Real Madrid, don't be surprised, guys. I'm going to cry, and I will cry on this podcast for the first time when Esteval leaves. But whatever. I have to work Esteval into every podcast, Jason. It's just like
I mean, he is arguably one of the best things about the club right now.
Yeah, he is the best.
You do not have to. Yeah. You do not have to ever apologize for that.
Yeah, but I just in the end, it's not a great deal. We didn't even touch on Larry Ellison and his AI nanny state that he wants.
Yeah,
we didn't even touch on that.
Next episode of Behind the Badge.
Yeah, Project Stargate. Just go look into it. If you're cool with AI being your overlords, then Larry Ellison's your man. He is your guy.
It's okay, man. AI will just take over and eventually, and this will all end. So don't worry about it.
Yeah. But so I guess that will end episode 1 of Behind the Badge. And I guess Jason, tell these people where they can find us these days.
Quick question though, Daniel. Do you want to do predictions? Or we play Burnley?
No, not really. We're probably going to draw. It's away. That's my prediction.
Daniel and I will text our predictions to each other, reveal them on the next.
Yeah, we'll reveal them. We'll tell y'all how wrong we were because that's what's going to happen.
It does seem weird to do predictions after we did such an eloquent Behind the Badge episode. Yeah. So good call. But we are on Instagram, Twitter, and Substack. Catch us on all the things. Daniel does most of the writing around here. I did say I was going to do like a blog post. It seems past the point for that topic one, but maybe I can still do it. We'll see how the Burnley match goes, and then I'll revisit. But if you want to check us out on those things, we made it easy for you. It's the same handle on all of them at Red White Blues FC.
Yeah, we're also on Spotify, Apple, wherever you listen to your podcast at these days. My son is staring at me in the doorway right now. But yeah, wherever you listen to your podcast at, we're there. We're also on YouTube. Like, subscribe, follow there for our ugly mugs. We are there. And there will be a blog post coming out that goes a little more in depth. I talk about the AI stuff, and everything will be linked with an article that backs up everything. So if you want to read about this shit, there will be links in the blog post for everybody to read about how shitty of a company this is and Larry Ellison is. But until Monday, after we inevitably probably shit the bed against Burnley, flippity flop. What? I don't even know what I say. Catch you guys on the flip side. There we go.
Be better, Chelsea FC ownership. Flippity floppity.